There are horses of many colors, brown, black, yellow.
Teata was born in 1895, and she passed away in 1995. So that's the better part of the 20th century. And the 20th century was such an extraordinary time for Indian people in American history.
Jeannie Barber is the Chickasaw historian on set.
Mr. Stevens, please.
Do you have an appointment?
Teata had a wonderful legacy. She lived a life that most of us could only dream of. She had such courage and passion for what she did, storytelling and the performing arts.
Red, blue, green, and yellow.
Later on, such a passion for educating others about the importance of historical and cultural preservation and revitalization. And Governor Anatubby and the Chickasaw Nation, we wanted to somehow record that life.
Miss Davis has scheduled 4 private performances next week.
Well, you're gonna make some good scratch.
But I'm in New York for Broadway.
We wanted it to be accurate. We wanted it to reflect who she was as a person and as an artist. And we wanted to make sure that every detail represented the time period, that it represented the culture.
I met with this Seminole woman after my last performance, and she asked me if I could tell the stories of her people.
Q'orianka Kilcher is just an extraordinary actress, such a talent. She can sing, she can dance. Her acting abilities are just extraordinary. And she was perfect for the role of Teata. It's very interesting to look at her life and see that at certain times in her life, at just the right moment, a person would come in and be that mentor or that teacher.
You speak Sparrow.
My accent's a little rough.
And what did our little friend have to say? One of those people was Miss Davis, the role played by Cindy Pickett.
Miss Davis is a drama teacher, and so she basically is her mentor.
And I'm wondering, Mary, why you didn't sign up for my class. What's your 5th period?
My only free time?
Was your only free time. Theater room, tomorrow.
Teata came to this women's college, and Miss Davis hears her in the forest doing bird call to a bird, and she invites her into her class, and she sees that she has a gift of storytelling and of drama.
What could you show me that I haven't seen before? What can you offer that all these little sugar cookies can't?
She just continues to remind her how special she is and how important that she tells her story.
And background, action.
This movie project allowed the longtime Hollywood actress to return home to Oklahoma.
Ferris Bueller is what people recognize me for, but you know, I did a lot. I had my own series called To Glory with Craig T. Nelson, Elizabeth Shue, and I was on this wonderful series called St. Elsewhere.
Remember who you are, Teata. Broadway will keep calling, Hollywood too. But you tell the story you were meant to tell.
It is different than anything I've done. And it's important to me that I'm in my state, my home state. It's the land and the wind and the smells and the memories. When you grow up in this state, you're very much more aware of the Native American culture. And I just wanted to be a part of it. So, and that's another thing that's important for me right now, to be a part of this, is because this story is so amazing about this woman, this beautiful woman who carried the culture, but the stories and the magic of the Native American.
But now, this is our home.
Other actors feel the same connection.
I've been doing this for some 20 years, and most of my work has been Native-oriented. So I learn a lot about different tribes as we portray different tribes.
What was it Aunt Mary called her when she was a baby?
Teata.
Teata? I love it. What does it mean?
Bearer of the morning.
That's perfect.
Gil Birmingham portrays Teata's father.
I play Thomas Benjamin Thompson, TB, as he goes by.
It was hard times, but like my daddy says, the Chickasaws will never be conquered.
The role is pivotal, and to the extent that most of her cultural, if not all of her cultural influence, her songs, her dance, all originated with her father. And this is such an uplifting and just inspiring story, you know, about a young woman who really fought the odds and has had a soul and spirit that was determined to make that bridge, the cultural bridge between her culture and the outside world.
She was so pleased with him, and he was so pleased with her, and together they flew down the banks of the river because they were the first birds of spring.
Teata is also a love story.
Well, I have the great fortune to play Clyde Fisher, the gentleman that married Teata. I think Clyde was able to encourage Teata to be who she really is. She's a beautiful, beautiful person and a wonderful example of someone who followed her dreams and improved the world around her because of it.
Remarkable.
Well, thank you.
Clyde Fisher.
Teata.
Yes, of course. Something to do with the daybreak, yes?
Bearer of the morning.
I hadn't heard of her before I came across the script, and it's the kind of story I think that deserves to be told.
I'm a professor. I am always a student of Indian culture.
One of the hardest roles, really, to try and cast for the movie was that of Dr. Clyde Fisher. He was just such a special personality. When talking to people about who he was, family and friends, you had a sense that he just had this childlike feeling of wonder and curiosity about the world.
Right now, we're walking between 600 and 700 miles per hour, based on the constant rotation of the Earth.
And so we needed to find somebody who embodied that same sense of curiosity.
I told Mackenzie that I have fallen in love with him hundreds and hundreds of times throughout this entire filming. He is the perfect Clyde.
Come look.
What are we looking at?
Q'orianka Kilcher plays the lead role, Teata.
Looking and reading about Clyde and Teata's relationship, it was just the true embodiment of a genuine love, of not trying to confine somebody into little borders, not trying to control them, but just two people coming together, being amazing in their own right, in their own ways, and just supporting one another and being almost like little birds coming together and flying and making music together and then going apart and, you know, always finding their way back together.
The movie features a star-studded cast with scenes shot exclusively in Oklahoma. Look closely for local landmarks.
Sorry, do you know where West End Avenue is?
It's 10 blocks this way.
Thank you.
And familiar faces.